Do you have any weird experiences that you had at networking events, or even what's some of the things that people have asked you about networking tips and you think that people do wrong?
I mean, the completely correct point about how you approach someone is आप सीधा जाके नहीं बोलोगे कि मुझे ये चीज चाहिए आपसे. अगला बंदा क्यों देगा? They don't know you. So अगर you want a job, find the right employers, and उस employer उस firm में who's the person who you want to talk to. As a fresh graduate, when I got my first job, अगर कोई मुझे approach कर रहा है, I'm not in a position to offer them a job, right? मैं उनको जानता नहीं, ना मैं HR हूँ, ना मैं director हूँ, मेरे पास authority नहीं है. So going to the right people, approaching the right people, and the first thing you want to do is ask them for a coffee, ask them for a catch up, and have that coffee. That's your chance to make the first impression. My take on that is, in that first catch up, share your story, share where you're coming from, and tell them about your ambitions or where do you want to go. As an employer, अगर आप किसी से पहली बार मिल रहे हो, if they ask you for a job straight away, you'll be like, क्यों? कौन है? कौन तुम? तो but अगर वो आपको अपने बारे में बता रहा है और वो आपको बता रहा है मैं यहाँ जाना चाहता हूँ, आपकी फर्म यहाँ से आई है, आपकी फर्म यहाँ जाना चाहती है, और वो अलाइन करती है चीज, then you get the other person interested. Graduate roles so far, मतलब जितना मैंने देखा है, are all filled in through networks. क्योंकि there are so many graduates looking for jobs. अगर आपने किसी के साथ connection बनाया हुआ है, they will keep you in their mind, right? आज नहीं तो एक हफ्ते बाद, एक महीने बाद, 2 महीने बाद, that person अगर उसको लगा कि ओ अब मेरे पास ओपनिंग है, then उसके दिमाग में you will be there कि इस बंदे को मैं मिला था.
How did you get your architecture internship?
So UniSA में, obviously, as I said, one of the electives is called professional placement. I asked the coordinator, okay, I'm really interested. What's the sort of procedure for that? And उसके लिए मुझे portfolio बनाना पड़ा, CV बनाना पड़ा. So a lot of people do that. It's open to everyone. But you go in a pool. Okay. Right? I went around. मैंने through networks, मैंने firm को approach करा directly. And to get their attention, it's very important to have a reference. उसके बिना नहीं होता. Everyone's busy. No one cares कि कोई random email आ रही है. So it was just, I used a reference to get their attention. That's it. Okay. उसके बाद I sent them my portfolio directly and told them कि मैं ऐसे university के through I want to do professional placement, 150 hours of internship with you. So what's the way to go? So they called me for an interview. They were like, all right, all good. We'll coordinate with the university. We'll tell them, okay, we want one of the interns for this year. We want you. So that's how I got an intern.
So did you go and ended up working in the same firm as your first job?
No, I didn't. So जिस firm में मैंने internship करी, it's a very, very big firm. It's a multinational firm. And they work on big projects. They work on amazing projects. But जब मैंने internship करी, it was a bit of a desperate move, right? क्योंकि मेरे पास कोई industry experience नहीं है in Australia, in my industry. Yes, मैं part time jobs कर रहा था, but मैंने sales person नहीं बनना, मैंने architect बनना. तो जब मैंने after finishing the internship, my first inclination was to maintain that relationship. I finished my masters in another 6 months, so मुझे वो dialogue open रखना था. But then after the end of that internship, after 2 months, I realized that this is not where I would want to work as my first job.
You did this internship and stuff.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't get their first job in the field, right? It's a process. It's not that easy. So how did you get your first job?
I got my first job through, believe it or not, one of the Sona events.
Okay.
It was called an office crawl. Okay. Office crawl is basically like a pub crawl. Okay. But you go hopping around, not bars, but architecture studios. So Brown Falconer was one of the studios where we went to. Okay. And as soon as I entered the studio, मैंने उनके बारे में सुना हुआ था, मैंने उनके बारे में.
Brown Falconer is an architectural firm. Later on, you went and got a job there.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly.
So this is the first time you are entering the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I had already heard about them.
Yeah.
मैंने थोड़ी सी research करी हुई थी on all the studios we're going to, कि क्या, just to have some topics to talk about, right? I don't want to go there as a blank page. कि क्या मुझे नहीं पता क्या है. तो how it went was कि one of their principals, he had organized a presentation. Okay. Just a run through of the company, what they do, how long they've been, and sara kuch sara. And it was a walk of the studio. As soon as I entered Brown Falconer, this very positive energy. Yeah. And जब वो presentation हुई, tour हुआ, I thought to myself, I would really like to work here. And I went back inside and went to the principal, told him कि मैं अभी 2 दिन पहले graduate हूँ. I would love to have a meeting to discuss employment opportunities. Because I thought to myself, what do I have to lose?
Wow.
अगर मैं नहीं करता ये मेरे पास तब भी job नहीं है. अगर मैं करता हूँ, let's see what happens.
शायद कुछ हो सकता
Correct.
है. What did he respond?
So again, it's not an easy route. उसने मुझे सीधा बोला कि just talk to the Sona rep. उसके पास जो contact है, email them. When I went back home after that tour took that email, drafted an email कि मैं ऐसे you have to explain, right? कि where you are coming from. I told them कि मैं ऐसे tour पे था, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, मुझे क्या अच्छा लगा, and I want to have a meeting. Again, I want to have a meeting.
Nice.
They know what the meeting is going to be about.
Yeah.
But मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि मुझे job दो. So it's not an easy route. कोई reply नहीं आया मुझे.
अच्छा.
2 weeks later I follow up. कोई reply नहीं आया मुझे.
Okay.
A week later I followed up again. Then the HR replied to me or apologized कि नहीं हुआ, reply नहीं करा. Agreed for a catch up. Right?
Okay. With HR.
With the HR.
Okay.
तो HR के साथ meeting हुई after a week, and I'm sitting in a room. There's only the HR and myself. कोई architect नहीं, कोई director नहीं. I went all guns loaded, right? मैंने अपना portfolio रखा, मैंने अपना construction set रखा, मैंने अपना CV रखा. All she looked at was my CV. And she started talking to me as if it's just a chat because she called me for a chat.
Yeah.
तो उसने मेरा सारा background पूछा. Again, she wanted to know my story. Where I'm coming from, where do I want to go? So later I realized that chat was her sort of judging whether I'll be a cultural fit, a good fit for the company. She does not care about architecture. She's not architect. She's not an architect. तो उसने मुझे सीधे सीधे बोल दिया कहती after the thing, she's like, everything about you is great, सारा कुछ, but unfortunately we don't have a role, we don't have an opening.
Oh wow.
And I was like, ठीक है, that's good. I was like, keep my portfolio, physical portfolio, as an expression of interest. She's like, no, take it with you because I know prints are very expensive. Just email it to us. I told her bluntly, I was like, if I email it to you, there are high chances that it'll get lost. Yeah. But keep this there. That's fine. I'll get another one printed. Yeah. Investment है मेरा. 2 days later, I get an email saying that the portfolio you left, one of the directors flicked through it and they want a meeting with you next week. So that was an actual interview.
And unexpected as well.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
And why did that happen? Because I left my portfolio.
Nice. Good job. Yeah.
So yeah, next week I meet with 2 directors and that was a full architecture interview. Obviously they want to know I want a job, but they want to know whether it's a meaningful move, not just for them, but for you as well.
Right.
So you've just got to tailor yourself and align yourself with the firm.
And explain as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then a week later, they offered me a 6-month contract.
Okay.
And then 2 months into that, they offered me a full-time permanent role.
Wow, dude. That's a good story. That's a good journey as well.